Well, you're joining us backstage here at the Landlord Investment Show at Olympia, and it's a real pleasure to welcome Channel 4 presenter Sara Damergi to Property Tribes. And Sara, so lovely to see you here today. And you've got this dream job of a TV presenter in property, Place in the Sun, yes. Coast versus country. How did you get to be a TV presenter?
Well, I started out presenting actually when I was about 18, just for a local channel. But I think with the Place in the Sun, everything just came together. The experience I'd had with my father working in property, the travel and the presenting. So it sort of merged into the perfect job. And I'd dreamed of that job. I'd watched Amanda Lamb doing that show. So it was like a dream come true, really, when I started out doing that.
Oh, how fantastic.
I've taken some time out, actually, to have a baby. So I've been out the game for about a year. Mm-hmm. So my son's now 11 months old. And, yeah, just started back. I'm hosting the property Women in Property debate here today, which is very exciting. Apparently lots more women coming through the doors, which is always heartening to hear and really good to get more women involved in the industry.
Indeed, and congratulations on the birth of your son. And I think, you know, for women in property, property has so much flexibility about it that it is possible to have a family as well and also run a property-related business. Exactly,
and I think that's what we're going to be covering in the debate today. We're going to be talking about balancing family life. And Tracy, who started out, the founder of the National Landlord Investment Show, she's going to be on the panel. I know she balances family life with business. So it's going to be really interesting to hear everyone's different highs, lows, difficulties, and hopefully we're going to empower lots of women and they'll take something really positive away from today.
I hope so too. And I think I'm right in saying that property is 88% male dominated. So we do want more ladies to come into the sector. I think women have got so much to offer property and property's got so much to offer women.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And it's crazy, isn't it? It's 2019 and we're still having these conversations. So, of course, we're in a time of transition now. Things are changing for women in general. But, yeah, things are shifting. Hopefully more so now.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned working with your dad.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your actual property background and your experience in the sector.
Well, I'm a London landlord. I've got a couple of properties in London myself. But with my dad actually started out with a car hire company for through the Arabic embassies. Then through that he met some Arabic VIPs, and then it just merged into fully property. So holiday lets, property finding, all sorts of things really, and even interior design, although we're not interior designers, but everything really. So it was a lot of wheeling and dealing, and through that I learned so much from him, but he's now a developer. I've been working with him in a project in the Middle East, which is 55 flats and 14 shops we just completed, which is amazing. But that's in Beirut. So if you want to talk about women in property, that's a whole different story. But that's just completed. But the market's crashed in Beirut. If you're thinking about Brexit slowing down the market, imagine wars in Syria and all of that kind of thing. So that's all rented out now. But we were planning to sell. So again, highs and lows of property development and investment.
And having a plan B.
Exactly. Very important, very important.
So where do you think what makes you feel passionate about property?
Well, there's so many different things. I think, you mentioned the flexibility. It's lovely to have freedom in the work that you do. As obviously freelance presenting, doing what you do, doing things you're passionate about. Property, especially in the UK, our home's our castle. But also, we had the opportunity to sort of grow our incomes through property, which you don't necessarily have that opportunity in other countries. My partner's Swedish, and it's actually quite looked down upon to actually have a property. They've got a few Airbnbs over there, but it's very difficult to earn money from property over there unless it's a standalone building or standalone property.
So we're lucky here in the UK that we have so many opportunities, many being displayed here at the show, lots of different strategies. It can actually become quite overwhelming at times, but you say that you've got a couple of buy-to-lets. Do you feel confident about being a landlord and the UK property market? Are you keeping the faith with it?
You've got to keep the faith, haven't you? I think things are always cyclical, things always go round, and I self-manage. I think Marie, who's on the panel later, she also self-manages, and it can be a bit stressful at times, but I think, again, that's something that we're going to cover and chat about in the debate and find out how people cope with that and try and demystify it. I think people are a little bit scared of investing. They see it as higher risk. If it's the first time, of course, it's frightening. So hopefully we'll demystify things a little bit and make people feel confident.
Indeed. Now, I have to compliment you on your presenting style, Sarah. I really like the way you present on Channel 4, A Place in the Sun. You're kind of very pragmatic. You give very good due diligence on the property and the area. So important. Obviously, you are dealing with people that are looking to buy a home. There's a very strong emotional attachment. But actually, in investment property, I still feel that this is just my personal view. I'd be interested to hear if you agree, but I do have an emotional investment in it. I think, would I live in that property myself? And if the answer's no, why should I expect my tenants to live there? And I think this is perhaps something that women bring to the property sector, that we have a slightly more emotional look at it. And some people might say that's a weakness, but I actually think it's a strength.
I totally agree with you. I think, intuition, a female intuition, not to knock down men, because lots of men are intuitive as well, but I think it's easier for us to access that and to imagine that, and the feeling of a home is very important, and I totally agree with you actually on that.
Because I always say, would I feel comfortable walking home to this property at night?
Exactly.
Because if the answer's no, then I'm going to knock out my prospective female tenants, because they won't feel comfortable. So I think women perhaps look at it through a slightly different lens.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's a very good point.
Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to the debate and being part of the show.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. I'm very excited. It's the first time I've been here, and it's the 66th birthday, I believe, show birthday. So, it's an amazing event. So, very, very excited.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Property Tribes. Really great to have you telling us about your property journey, and also thank you very much for being part of the show as well. It really is a genuine pleasure to see you here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You.